Bunga bunga. Bunga bunga. Let me see if this is working. I just sat here for millions of hours. Millions of hours, I tell you. Bunga bunga. Oh yeah, we good. Yeah, I sat here for millions of hours waiting for all the scenery to re-download because we going since this new update just came out for Microsoft Simulator, we gonna go ahead and see if Europe is still the black hole, and we gonna see if we can get the screens working. So let's try this plane here because this plane was notorious for screens blanking out. The Dare TVM 930. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how we sees it. So I'm not gonna do live time. You know, I'll change it in the. Well, I guess I can change it now. Let's adjust the time to be in the mornings as we going over to Europe's, and we're going to the center of the black hole, known as Frankfurt Airport. We got all the scenery packs re-downloaded, all whatever it was 200 gigabytes of datas. Let's go to this because this was always. Oh no, we gonna go. Yeah, we can do A40, I guess. That was always an issue. Good old gate A40. Welcome back, all my fine, beautiful aviation enthusiast friends. Welcome back to the Airplane Show. I was off of work all day today. I did my best to get some stuffs up, but it just wasn't in the cards. But now we're doing this. We're gonna try out a few different planes and see if we still get the black screens with this new update. Supposedly some stuff was fixed. I read through the update as I had plenty of time to read it while all this stuff was downloading and uploading and side loading. All right, let's turn off real time and put on some sunshine. Here we go. It's the sunshine. Yay, sunshine. All right, let's go here. All right, let's get our GigaChad Copilot working. Supposedly some things were updated, so let's see what happens. Let's see if anything is new with this. It's a little quicker. The ice. Yes. All right. So far, so good. Well, I did them both. Well, so far the screens are still on. So far, we're doing okay. Oh, wrong button. You know, the fact that the screens are still on is amazing. Let's try setting, well, let's do the after engine checklist. All right, let's set our flight plan first and see if the ATC is going to make us change it. Supposedly, you can interact with the ATC much differently now. So we're doing just a short little trip from EDDF EDDM. Let me get some Navigraph going on my iPad ski. Oh, and other related sim news, I had somebody message me on one of my other videos today. Aerofly has brand new mobile sim out. So it's not Aerofly FS 2023. It's now Aerofly FS, and it's only available on Android, which is bad for me because none of my tablets can really run Aerofly that well, but I am going to review it in the next couple of days. I'm going to get it tomorrow. Hopefully the iOS version will be out soon. Usually it's I guess a few weeks behind. So, we'll see what happens. I'm not really choosing a runway because I'm not doing a departure. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to flight plan. Let's go back to procedure, and we are doing the Rook 1A, and we are landing at 8 left. Load. Procedure, approach. doing this one here. I'm wondering if I put real time on it, something's going to happen. Let me plug in NDD. And XERUM. I'm using this airport because this was always the worst. This was the worst one recently with just all the issues. So, all right, yeah, we're good. We don't need to add anything else. We can click done. Let's set this for let's do flight level. Let's just do 20,000. All right, that's all good. Let's put some lights on. Actually, let's contact the ATC and see what they say. Okay, very good. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do. Inertial scepter on. Flight controls are fine. Flaps. This always I have an issue with. So let's autocomplete that. That's all good. Well, actually, let's set that. That would be under utilities. Where was that the other day? No, it's not there. It might be under PFD. No. Yeah, actually, I think it was. Where did I see it the other day? Plant aircraft systems. No, it's not that. General. Nope. Speed bugs. Nav and com. Student radio. I know in the Cessna, it's in one of these. Maybe it's not. Maybe it just does it automatically in this plane. Let's see here. Let's just check. Abilities, setup, avionics, some alerts. traffic. There we go. Traffic settings. Motion factor. Standby. Operate. Relative. All right. So that seems like that's all the traffic settings that they have. All right. Let's do that. Let's go back to split screen and let's see if we can put map settings. Let's see if we can put the text on the bottom. Let's leave the detail all the way up. All right, let's see here. Let's set all, and we are doing MFD left, because that's our main one right there. And absolute traffic, inset window, flight plan text. There we go. All right, and let's set real time now and see if that does anything to the screens. That was a killer before. All right, aircraft systems, speed bugs, all on. All right, let's taxi out and take off and see what happens. Now, we do need to be under 10,000 feet for this takeoff, so let's set our altitude at 10,000 feet. Let's request a pushback. Whoa! Oh, I crashed. Shit. I wasn't expecting to take off. All right, let's try a different plane. So the screen's kicked on there. Let's try the PC-12 because that was another plane that had major issues. Major issues. We're just going to stick with the same airport because this airport, nothing worked up until today. Even with all the scenery packs deleted, it still didn't work. So let's try the PC-12 and see if that works. I think I'm going to do a real flight after this, after I test a couple of planes, just to kind of make up for some lost time that, you know, I couldn't. Because I saw that update come out this afternoon, and I was like, well, man, if it's updated, maybe they fixed some of these issues. So then I decided to re-download all the scenery packs, and I thought they were going to download when I went out for dinner. I took my daughter and I went out for dinner and met my mom. And you know what? Let's try this plane first, because this plane, the screens never worked anywhere. And I was hoping that they would have downloaded while I was at dinner, but it didn't. All right, let's go to a different part. Whoa, bitch! What are you doing? What are you doing, bitch? Simulator's acting crazy. I might have to yeah, let me restart. Let's now after I'm restarting the sim. After I downloaded everything, I then closed out the simulator and restarted the Xbox. So yeah, I was hoping it would download while I was out for dinner, but it just didn't happen that way. I guess in sleep mode, it's not like the PlayStation. The PlayStation, you can put it in sleep mode and still be attached to the internet and, you know, be downloading stuff. And I thought I had it set properly, but obviously I did not. Now, for your Aerofly fans out there, I'm a big Aerofly fan. I was reading about the new one. It doesn't seem like there's really anything different, really anything substantial. There's a couple little things here and there, you know, with like pushback, like, you know, but I don't know if that's going to be on every device or just certain devices that have enough RAM and enough juice to run it. So the initial price is only $3, which is great. However, I was reading again about it, and it looks like there's a lot of those global scenery packs again, and I guarantee you, I don't know this because I haven't bought it, but I guarantee you at a $3 price for a $3 entry fee, I guarantee you the rest of the sim is probably going to cost around $30 to $40 with all the scenery packs like it was last time. You know, where each scenery pack was what, $5, something like that, and there was like 7 of them. So I didn't see any new planes. You know what? I don't even. Let me. Where's my tablet? I don't even recall seeing the new 737. There's supposed to be a new 737. Which plane do you want to see me input a flight plan on? Which plane? Yeah, let me look up this shit real quick. I think I still have it on the the Play Store page. Oh no, I don't. Actually, let me type it back in. All right, Aerofly FS Global, and let's see if it says anything about a new. Oh, they do. They have a new 737-900ER new generation. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a step in the right direction. They still got all the same other planes, the Dash EQ400, the Airbus A320, the Airbus A380, the 777. The Airbus A380. Well, yeah, I can. Well, there's actually, if you go on, if you go into my Aerofly playlist on my page, I have a couple of videos. Well, actually, every A380 video that I have from Aerofly has me inputting the flight plan into the FMS, and then I think I have a tutorial in the Aerofly playlist. It's probably from earlier this year, I would think. But yeah, when I do the review of the new one, as long as that A380 is part of the standard airplanes, yeah, I can do it for you for sure. But I do have it on my channel already. If you go to my Aerofly playlist and just type in A380 or FMS, there's a handful of videos that you can pull up where it has it in there. Unfortunately, in this simulator here, there's no A380, and there's no FMS system equivalent to the A380's FMS system in this simulator, because that one is pretty high tech. But in Aerofly, it's not. You're very limited with Aerofly with what you can do on it. But there's no A380 in the simulator here. I heard somebody. I read. Well, I shouldn't say I heard. I read that some modders are trying to put together. They're putting together an A380 to be launched in the store, which will be cool. Like, you know, if we can actually buy it and use it like some of the other airplanes. Second, let me make this chat bigger so I can read it. Give me a second. Let me pull it up on my phone. Out of the way. Oh yeah. Yeah, man, if you want to play the Microsoft Simulator on Android, all you need to do is you need to buy a subscription to the Xbox Game Pass. I'm not trying to do a commercial for them, but if you play on your mobile device, you just need to get the subscription to the Xbox Game Pass, and with that, you just need to install the app on your Android device. Doesn't matter what kind of device, phone, tablet, and then you can just play right from the cloud. That's how I played. That's what I did for probably a good 6 or 7 months before I actually got an Xbox. I was playing the simulator right on my tablet and on my iPad. I have 2 Android tablets, an Android phone, and an iPad, and I was playing on. Oh my God! Yeah, if you just go to Google and type in like Xbox Game Pass, it'll bring you right there. I think it's like $15 a month. I think though when you first sign up, I think it's like $1 for 3 weeks, and after that, I cannot believe this is working. Holy shit. I might have to take back every bad thing I said about Microsoft. Okay, so screens are working here. Let's try the PC-12, because the PC-12 never. Now, by the way, that Vision G2 jet, I lit up the company that made it, Flight FX. I lit them up on Discord like 2 weeks ago because I bought it. And after I bought it, I got access to the webpage that gave a description and material you can download. And one of the things you could download was how the screens don't work on Xbox. And I'm like, man, why couldn't you guys like say that before somebody buys it? Like, I was so mad that I spent money on it and then I couldn't use it. I could only use it in the in the middle of the Pacific Ocean at like some little island, like below Bora Bora, like, you know. All right, let's try this here PC-12. Man, I am excited, man. If this shit is fixed, man, oh my God, I'm so excited. Maybe with this new update, we can get the tablet now on the 737. That would be killer if we could do that. Scream it loud, yeah. All right, let's see here. Let's put you on, bloop, and you on, and you on. Yep, still no screens in the PC-12. That's, oh, man. Let's see if we start the engine, what'll happen. Put that on. Let's put some oxygen on. Let's put this down. Okay, well, let me see. So there's no screen. Actually, starting the engine doesn't do anything. Okay, so no screens. Now, I wonder if this is going to kick me out of the simulator. Let's see what happens. Usually when the screens don't come on, it'll kick you out of the simulator when you quit. All right, so that wasn't fixed. That's no big deal. I can just fly that plane in America, I guess. Well, shit. Let's try to do a G2 flight. Let's try to fly that G2 to Munich. Actually, no, I want to do a 737. Let's go build a flight. Let's go find a real flight. Like, I wanted to do a Southwest flight earlier tonight. Let's find a Southwest flight to do. I'll take you guys on a behind the scenes tour of how I find flights. It's really hard to do. You just go to FlightAware and you find a flight you want to do. It's super hard. All right, let's go to Southwest. Actually, let's just do 738s. Let's see what Delta's flying, because I already started the failures with Delta. Let's see if Delta's got anything kind of interesting. Memphis to San Francisco. Seattle to O'Hare. We could do that. That could be interesting. Let's see what Southwest has got going on. So I turned on failures with the 737 that I have. But the failure, so their failures are based on like actually like flying time, like it is in real life. So the more you fly, the more chances you have of failures. So I already started with Delta. I flew from Toronto to Atlanta last week. But let's see what Southwest is doing. I saw some interesting Southwest flights that I wanted to do earlier. We have, let's see here. EX. Last Boston, Phoenix to Denver. That's not too bad of a flight. We could probably do that. Oakland to Seattle. Let's do that flight. All right, so we got Oakland to Seattle. We'll leave live time on. All right, so we got Oak 5. All right, let's go build this on SimBrief. I might turn the live time off as we're flying. Depends on how dark it is. Like I was flying last night from, I think it was from Vegas to like Kansas City, and I mean like you couldn't even see the airplane. That's how dark it was. But that's flying over like the Midwest, flying up the coast of the West. Usually there's quite a bit of light, so usually there's a bit more light. All right, so we have SWA 1241. That is K Oak to K Sia. And we have the 737-800, which is the one that I own from PMDG. Each one was like $60 for like each class of 737. So I was like, I'll just get one. All right, Oak 5 Oak. So Oak 5. Oops. Oak 5 Oak. Dead HD RBL. Dead HD RBL. LMT and Hawk 27. All right, very good. Let's make sure we have kilograms. We do. All right, let's generate the flight. All right, and let's go to Navigraph charts. What gate did this take off from? Gate 27. All right, very good. Gate 27. All right, let's unload that. That was a flight I did the other day with the MU2 Mitsubishi. All right, let's import the flight. Import from SimBrief. All right, we got Coke to Cassia. And let's see what type of landing we're going to do. Wanna scream it out. Wanna get through it out. Yeah. So don't believe it. Probably be an RNAV landing, but we'll see. Depends on the weather. Yeah, RNAV Z is what it shows. I mean, I'm okay with that as long as the weather holds up. If the weather is not so good, we'll have to switch to an ILS, but let's do the RNAV Z. And if the weather's not so good, then so be it. But this 737 does RNAV landings really well. All right, let's unload this. I'll pull it up on my iPad. Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah. If sorry, I didn't see the chat until just now. Yeah, let me type this back here. Absolutely, as long as it's available to with Aerofly. Do it with Msfs 2020, but there's no A380. Yeah, absolutely. If it's available this time around, sure. The problem with Aerofly in the past is that they've never had Asia, India, Australia, Japan, Russia, Africa. Like they've never had like any of those continents, countries, land masses available. It's always been like Western United States and Europe. And that's pretty much been it. Like you haven't been able, you can fly over Singapore and I think WIII, I think, isn't that like, that's not Jakarta. Isn't that like, what's WIII? I've thought about flying out of there before. It's not, it might be Jakarta or Bali. I know it's in the Philippines. I know it's, you know, I know it's down near Singapore. I know it's, anyways. Yeah, if it's available, I'll do it for sure. I like that Singapore airport. That's a really cool airport. All right, let's come up here to Mr. Boeing. Mr. Boeing, if you please. And let's put on the Southwest liveries. We're going to act as a Southwest pilot for a little while. And let's go to Coke. It's right next to Casefo. All right, what did we say it was? Like B-27, I think. All right, set departure. I think it was something 27. Wasn't it like B-27? Let me look it up real quick. So like D-27 or something like that. All right, let's go to FlightAware. Give me a second. I'm typing this in on my tablet. All right, FlightAware. I shouldn't be starting a flight this late. I got to work tomorrow morning. At least I think I'm going to work. All right. SWA. No, that's not the right flight. Shit. Which flight is this? Did I say 1241? Yeah, 1241. Okay, I'll set that up right now, actually. Let's set it up. We don't need to do this Southwest flight. I can do this a different day. All right, give me a second. Let's build it. Let's go back to here and sim brief again. Yeah, I've thought a few times about doing that, and just never pulled the trigger on doing that flight. All right, so it's probably going to be Malaysian Airlines we're going to fly, because that's probably what's going to be flying to there. But let's type in my normal airline. We got WII and WSSS. And let's see here, we got 737-800. All right, let's generate that. We'll go back and choose a different livery here in a minute. I think we'll do the Malaysian one. Malaysian Airlines. Right, let's import into SimBrief. Let's choose our approach. All right, let's see here. Got that. All right, let's do that. That RNAV 2C from Samco. All right, very good. Let me unload this. And let's go ahead and switch liveries. I may have to do a couple things to set this up. So we may have to like jump in the plane, set a few things up, and then jump back out of it. I'll show you what I mean here momentarily. Let me bring this up on my iPad. All right, let's go choose a different livery. And we got Malaysian right here. All right, let's go to make sure we got live everything on now. Let's go to WIII. We don't need to type that in. I'm pretty sure I know where that is. There's WSSS. WII is right here. All right, let's zoom to details. Set it as departure, and let's find a good medium gate. And we'll do gate 7, I guess. What about these gates around here? What's going on? What's this deal here? Small. There we go. There's medium. I don't know. That's going to give us enough space to back out, actually. Here, let's do gate 50. Actually, what about gate 52? That's Ray Lewis's number. Is that medium also? All right, let's do gate 52. It's for like my favorite Baltimore Ravens player. All right, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a few things to set this up because I don't think I've used this livery before. Actually, let me get my mouse out. This works much better with a mouse. The FMS system in this plane, when you're using a like an Xbox controller, it makes you double click everything on the FMS versus the mouse. You can just click on it once. All right, let's go set everything up here, and then we'll back out and come back in. All right, setup. All right, cold dark GPU is good. All right, we got equipment. Actually, fail OP. Maybe this is set up a little bit. Yeah, fail OP is good because it's got those 3 MFD buttons there. That allows us to do a category 3 landing. Yep, fail OP, because if I do fail pass, I think those, yep, that 3rd button's gone, right. Okay, so fail OP. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. No, that's okay. Maybe this is set up already. Cutoff switch. Okay. Headrest. Yeah. Pressure is it? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we got the new radio panels. All right. Well, let's just finish running through just to make sure. All right. Speed bugs, round radial. Got that. Show all. No, we got filter. 3-ring. Yep. Okay. All right. We got that. That's good. Max on. And brake temperature, yes. We have kilograms. That's good. Okay, very good. Failures. All right, service-based failures. Yes. All right, let's go back here. Service-based failures, yes. Okay, so we have that on. No active failures. All right, let me, and then let's go back to options and simulation. Okay, show thrust lever. Yeah, that's all good. Balls at top, we have 8 times speed. That's what I want. Yokes, rudder only. No, we want tiller and rudder. Otherwise, it's very difficult to turn the plane when you're taxiing. All right, colors. Okay, very good. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's save this. We'll type in Malay. Sure thing, man. Yeah, with this airplane, you got to do everything in this airplane. This airplane makes you do every single thing. So, all right, let me back out and we'll go back in now that we saved this. And we'll go back in and we'll get it all fired up. Enter the flight plan. All right, let's go back to gate 52. Yeah, man, no problem. I got you. I like doing this. I just wish I did it. I wish I was doing this a little earlier in the day, but, it's all good. I don't know if I'm working yet tomorrow or not. I'm supposed to work, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see how I feel in the morning. I was off today, but I was really busy all day, and I don't know. I might have to take a day tomorrow. We'll see. All right, let me get the OFP out so I can upload stuffs. All right, so let's go here. And all righty. So let's turn on our, I'm not going to use the mouse. I'll just use my controller. All right, let's turn this screen on. So we can turn these on before we turn on the actual airplane. All right, we're going to use this one here to set up everything. So first, let's go to fuel and general. Our fuel block is $84.95, so we're going to have the fuel truck come. So let's set that there. And let's go to payload and empty it out. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think this is going to reach. Well, you never. I don't know. We can try it, I guess. Let's try it. Let's get rid of the stairway. And let's see if we can actually get the jetway to work. Bye. Bye, stairway. We might see you again here in a minute if the jetway doesn't work. All right, let's request the jetway. And let's open up the passenger door. I'll be damned. Maybe it will reach. Wow, that is cool. I didn't think it was going to reach. Come on, give my airplane a kiss. Wow, that is cool. I had no idea it would have reached. It didn't look like it was going to be long enough. All right, let's go back and let's come here and set our fuel. So we have, our block is $84.95, so let's say 8,500. And let's request the fuel truck to come out. According to the OFP that we have from SimBrief, our operational flight plan, we have 170 people, so this can only fit 160 the way the configuration is. So let's type in 160 and put that in there, and we can start loading peoples in. And let's get our baggage loader to the front and rear. And the cargo is 4.2. So let's do 1,200 kilograms in the front. And let's do 3,000 in the rear. Got to have a bigger back end, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's see here. Fuel truck is attaching. Only thing I wish was a little better with PMDG, who made this. I wish there'd be actual like bags and shit that would show up on the loader here, but there isn't. All right, so the fuel truck we can start now, so let's do that. People are starting to funnel in. All right, let's go ahead and start getting our plane started up. So let's come here and put the battery switch on. And let's activate the ground power. And let's turn on our side collision and yeah, that's good for now. Start that. Wonder why the screens haven't come on yet. That's a bit bothersome, actually. Screen should be on by now. Let's turn on the APU. Maybe we need APU power now. That's bad. Oh, never mind. Screens are on. Oh, whatever. We'll turn the APU on anyways. Oh, I almost had a heart attack for a second. Jesus Christ. All right. While that's working, let's go to FMC. Got to align the IRS system here. So let's go ahead and do that. We got to go up here. Let's put this on heading mode, and let's turn on number 1 and number 2. Now this should be defaulted for 30 seconds, so it should align very quickly. It should take about 30 seconds. So let's go to the next page. Grab these coordinates here and plug them in right here. Very good. And we can turn on our APU. And we can turn APU bleed on. That down. Now, let's see if the IRS is lined up yet. Yep. All right, very good. So we got all that. That's good. Let's put on the seatbelt signs. What am I looking for here? Yeah. All right, very good. Let's load up that. All right, very good. Now let's put our flight plan in. Go to route, and we got WIII. Origin. We're going to WSSS. Our flight number 0123. Actually, before we set anything, let's make sure that we can take off on the runway we want to. See if we can do 07 right, because that's what... Yeah, let's see if we can do that. All right, very good. Now we got the correct runway. Let's see. All right, that's good. Let's do departure. We have 07 right. We're doing the DOLT B. There's no transition. So let's go to route. Activate that, execute that so it stores. Now let's go to the next page. And let's enter the rest of our flight plan in. So we are taking Airway G579. So we have G579. And we're taking that to REPOV, which I believe is our transition to our landing. All right, let's execute that. Yep, it is. All right, let's go to departure and arrival again. Let's go to arrival here, and we are doing RNAV runway 2C. RNAV 2C. Yep, SAMCO is our transition. And we're doing Repo 1A. Very good. So that's all done. I'm not worried about clearing any of the... I guess I could clear any kind of discontinuities out right now. Let's see if we have any. No, we don't have any. It's a complete flight plan. Excellent. Let's check it on our map here. Let's come up here. Switch that to flight plan. Let's go back to the first page of legs. And we're going to click on this lower button here where it says steps. And let's step through this, so make sure we got everything here. Yep, looks good. Let's put this back. And we'll put this one on flight plan. Turn off these VOR switches. On some lights. Main panel. A little bit of background. A little bit of flood, and let's turn this one down just a little bit. That one's always super bright. And let's turn this one up, and this one down just a little bit. And let's come over here. Turn on just a little bit of floodlights. Let's turn on our panel lights. Here and set our panel lights as well. And all right, very good. Let's see how we're doing with loading up. All right, so we can release these two vehicles. Fueling is done. We can release the fuel truck. So we need to have all this done before we finish setting up the FMS. Otherwise, the weight and balance and all that's going to be off. So, all right, we can remove the jetway. So let's get that pulled back since we have everybody on board. And the only thing left now is just letting that finish. So the jetway is going back. We can close the door. All right, that's closing. And let's go back to this page here. Now let's set the forecast for our descent. Let's set those speeds. So our cruising altitude today is 36,000 feet. So this information I'm going to grab right from the OFP that SimBrief provides. So let's plug in 31,000 feet for the first one. And then 20,000. And 10,000. All right, very good. And we got 71 by 20. That seems like low wind for 31,000 feet. 71 by 20. Got 120 by 13. Oops. One, 2, 0 by 13. And we have 56 by 7. All right, and it looks like everything is finished with loading up the, yep, very good. So let's get this going. Let's get that going. Let's go ahead and remove the ground power unit since we got the APU on. And let's go to the pushback page because that's going to be coming up very soon. So you can, if you are playing on PC, you can actually get a subscription. I don't know who provides it, but there's a subscription available where you can actually like have the wind speeds and all that like pull into the FMC for you automatically. So we don't have that, but it is available. All right, what's our transition altitude in this part of the world here? 13,000 feet. So let's plug that in here. So FL transition altitude is where we transition from the standard barometric pressure to whatever the barometric pressure is in this part of the world. So, all right, let's go back to init. And let's go ahead and request. Yeah, right now I have it set for real time and real weather. So yes, it is. Right now it's using real weather. We have this option up here with this little cloud. So I have real time on and live weather. All right, so that's all done. Now we need to change a couple of things. Let's change our transition altitude to 13,000. Sometimes I need to turn off the live weather and the live time. Well, in the past I had to, because sometimes it would crash the simulator, or it would turn the screens off inside the airplane. But this plane is usually really steady. Let me knock on some fake wood. This plane is usually pretty steady with everything working all the time. PMDG, who made this plane, did a really good job. All right, let's see here. And our fuel for the flight, let's say, is 8.3. So let's type that in. All right, and our cruise wind is 70 by 18. So let's plug that in. All this info I'm getting from the operational flight plan printout that comes with SimBrief. So when you generate a flight plan in SimBrief, it gives you like a 12-page document that has like all your weights, all your waypoints, fuel, wind speeds. It gives you all this stuff. So you just have to find it on the page and just plug it in. All right, so that's 70 by 18. Very good. All right. We'll take a look in a minute. That's fine. Let's go N1 limit. And I usually do 30 degrees over whatever that number is, so let's plug in 62. And we'll do takeoff 1. And we'll do climb 1. Takeoff, I go to the second page first, because I got to plug some runway information in. So the slope of this runway is negative 0.5. So negative 0.05. 0.05. And the runway wind is, let's see what it says here. On Navigraph, it says it is variable at 2 knots. So let's just plug in, which runway are we heading? 270. So tailwind would be, let's just type in 70 at 2 knots. All right, got that. Now we can go back and put our flaps in. So our CG pulls automatically. That's our the balance percentage, like where the balance of the airplane is. Oh, we got to type a number in. Let's type in 5. $146. Let's try flaps 10 and see if that's anything different. Flaps 10. No different. We'll do flaps 10, I guess, today. All right, so that's all good. I believe that's it for setting everything up. Yeah. Nav data, there's nothing we need to do. We don't need any maintenance. $1,000 feet. Okay, we have cruise is, 36,000 feet. All right, let's see what this error message was talking about how we can't get to a certain speed. All right, so repov is 250. That is weird. Let me look at the arrival chart. Is it really below 250? It's 250 below 21,000 feet. And let's look at Delta, Gustav, PLV, Virgia. All right, well, if we keep on getting that error, we'll just go ahead and there's a way where we can manually take over everything. So, all right, let's go ahead and get pushed back. Let's turn on the yaw dampener. Let's turn on these pumps. Let's turn these on. Very good. All that is good. Let's plug in 36,000 feet for our pressurization. And what is our landing altitude? Is 22 feet. So we'll plug 50 in there. All right. And let's turn on our flight directors. And 67 is the heading for the takeoff. And we need to be below, I thought we needed to be below 10,000. Oh no, that's fine. All right, we can leave 10,000 in for there right now. All right, well, let's go ahead and back up. So we need to, I always get this part mixed up. Let's try backing up to the, let's see what option it gives us here. Let's put this on. Park and brake. Let's remove the chocks. Get our tug. And turn the nose. I want to say it's to the, turn the nose to the, turn the nose to the right. I want to say it's this way. Turn the nose to the right. All right, let's start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready to push. Tail to the left. Park brakes off.
Set the barometric pressure. It's currently 2983. This button here. This sets it. I have it programmed so it'll set it on everyone across the cabin here. All right, let's go ahead and fire up some engines.
Brake set. Brake set.
Let's put on engine number 1. Go ahead and put this generator on. Let's turn on our transponder and traffic system. The weather system in this plane does not work, so there's no sense in playing with that. Let's turn on RTO for our auto brake. That's for takeoff. Click on data, because that gives us our speed constraints and any kind of altitude constraints. It'll put it in like a magenta color and tell us. All right, so engine stabilize. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and put you on continuous, you on continuous, and put you on. And turn off the APU bleed. Let's turn this to auto. And put you on auto. Pressurize the cabin. Let's turn the APU off. Some taxi lights. Logo lights. And we are good to go for taxi. So I don't think we need to tell the ATC anything. We just need to hold short of the runway. Oh yeah, let's put our flaps down to 10. Let's verify takeoff speed. So V2 is 147 there. I usually add 15 knots to that, so that would be 162. All right, let's get out of here. Still no tablet. That's a shame. Maybe soon the tablet will show up. A little bit of juice. Hang on a second. We're not really turning here. Not turning. Let's give me a second here. Let's change something on the settings, because this is not turning, and I thought I had it set up right, but maybe I didn't. Is it under options? Let's just try rudder and see if that fixes it. There we go, that's better. Could have sworn it was tiller and rudder that I had before, but I guess not. I'm glad I'm doing this flight instead of the one I was going to do. It's daytime here. We get to see everything. I love flying at night, but I like seeing everything as well. I just think the airports are really cool when they're all lit up at night. I do love seeing the green and the trees and the buildings. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sitting there running my mouth, I almost missed our turn. I gave all our passengers whiplash from slamming on the brakes. More round of complaints to our customer service department. After our JetBlue flight and our Emirates flight. This flight, I wish. Nope. Just been playing these simulators for a long time. I started playing X-Plane like maybe 10 years ago. Got into Aerofly maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been doing this one since I guess like the beginning of the year. No, nowhere close to a real pilot, my friend. I wish. I wish I was a real pilot. I might go for my pilot license one day. I don't have the time for it right now with 2 kids. I'm a single parent and I have full custody of 2 kids. Well, actually, my one kid just turned 18, so, but still, I full-time job and full-time kids. So it doesn't leave much time for that kind of stuff. But one day I would love to go for a pilot's license and actually fly for real. A lot of the airplanes, it's very similar. Like everything is fairly similar in a lot of the planes, like the type of buttons you have to push and the wording on the buttons, and like every plane you have to input a flight plan. Every plane you need to plug in what the weight is. Every plane you need to plug in how much fuel. You need to figure out like the takeoff speeds. Like it's very similar with a lot of planes. The button configurations and how to input it is different with different planes, but it's kind of the same info you need on every plane. It's a long way to this runway. Jesus. I had no idea the airport was this big. Alright, I think we're getting ready to pull up to the airport here. We have 0.84 kilometers left. Seven left probably would have been a lot closer to go to, probably. Wow. That's crazy. Why are you putting us over here? I want to go to the end, my man, and yeah, we're not turning there. Thank you for fixing that. Thank you. I want to use like the whole length of the runway. All right, let's stop here. We got to hold short here. Let's put on the auto throttle. Let's plug in LNAV for lateral navigation and VNAV for vertical navigation. Let's put on our strobe lights and our landing lights. And we can release our parking brake. Now this should transition us automatically to the runway. Let me make sure this setting is on. Maybe something changed when the update happened. Let's type in ATC. Okay, that lets the co-pilot do it. One. Okay, yeah, I mean, all that's on. I don't know why it's not. Maybe we just haven't gone far enough yet. I don't know why it's not clearing us. All right, let's go. Let's go for takeoff. Oh yeah, probably. Sorry, I'm just now reading your message. Yeah, I mean, I probably could fly a plane. I would probably like to do an actual, like, real simulator first, so I can get used to like how hard I need to pull back on the yoke, and the resistance of the thruster levers and all that, and pushing on the rudder pedals. But yeah, I mean, I know enough to get the planes in the air. Like all the buttons and all that. That's not an issue. But I don't know like how hard to pull back on the yoke, or how soft, or any of that kind of stuff. But everything else, button wise, I'm good. I don't know like the lingo to use with the traffic controllers and that kind of stuff. But all right, let's get a little bit of engine speeds, and we got to push this little screw here for toga. For some reason, PMDG, they use that screw there to set our takeoff and go around speed.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Probably fly manually for first part here until we make this big U-turn, then we'll activate our navigation. autopilot on. Let's lock our gear. Turn our parking brake. Auto brakes off, and yep, we're getting that fuel because of the lack of fuel in the center tank. And let's see here, we can put flaps up. And looks like once we get to, oh, we can put our flaps up again. Right about now. Very good. All right. We're pretty much all set at this point. So we have above 9,000 feet. Let's plug in 24,000 feet because we got to be below 24,000 at that one spot. We need to be below 24,000 feet there. Hey, what's up? Huh. Okay, let me turn my Bluetooth off. Okay, Bluetooth's off. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and turn off our landing lights. We're going to turn off that light as well. Now we'll pitch down a little bit so we can start increasing our speed. I'm trying to find my chapstick. Where's my chapstick? Where's the lamb sauce? Ah, there it is. Here it is. I need to get my mouse out because we're getting ready to transition from this barometric pressure here to standard, and I need to use the mouse for that. Otherwise, we might crash. So what happens is this little button here, this button here, this button here, they do the same thing. They'll switch you from standard mode to like this mode here where you can plug in the actual barometer. Well, when I use my controller and I click it, see how it like flashes really slowly blue like that? Well, when I use my controller, it rapidly flashes blue, and it'll switch between this and standard continuously. The last time it happened, it wound up dropping this number so much that my altitude was like 3,000 feet like lower than it should have been. So in order to go around that, now I use my mouse, and now there's no issues. me see. Why should you set the altitude to flight level but before you have set? I don't know if I understand your question completely, but so the flight plan here has at this waypoint here, we need to be below 24,000, at 24,000 feet or below. So in order to do that, you need to plug in the altitude here. That way the plane will stop at 24,000 feet. Hopefully that answers your question. Why should you set the altitude to flight level 24, but before you have set... Oh, but before you have set to autopilot. Yeah, I mean, when you have the autopilot on, really anything you do up here, the plane's going to try to do. So hopefully that answers your question. If we didn't have that constraint, like if this wouldn't have a B after it, if it would have like an A or just 24,000, I probably would have put in our cruising altitude by now. Hopefully that answers your question. The way it's worded, it's a little confusing to me, but I'm also kind of tired, so I might not be understanding it completely. We got 117 miles until we get to the top of our climb. Wow. And when we do get to our cruising altitude, well, you know, I may do it before then too, but I have this set to go 8 times speed, like the speed up the simulator. So I don't do it when we're climbing or when we're descending. I only do it when we're cruising, but I may wind up doing that in between once we get to 24,000 feet to when we... Oh, you know what? Actually, we'll be okay. We're not going to get to 24,000 feet that far before this waypoint coming up here. This is the waypoint where we need to be below 24,000 feet. That's only about 39, 40 miles away. Look at our landing. I wonder if we can do let's look at our landing. RNP. Ooh, we can. We might be able to do a special kind of RNAV landing today, where it's very close to an ILS landing, where we'll have a glide path and a localizer lock. So we might be able to pull that off. It looks like we can do that. LNAV, VNAV. I'm looking at the landing chart right now. I wish we had the tablet in here so I could show you the chart. A lot of the airplanes that have the tablet over here on the side, you can pull the chart over so you can actually look at the chart, you know, that I'm looking at. Yeah, we'll stay in regular speed here. We're getting close to leveling off. And then we're going to start our climb again once we get past this waypoint here. And it's quiet. All right, let's sync up our heading. So we have a heading of 330. You don't really need to do this, but I like to do it just in case. Now, when we go and set up for our landing, I'm going to set this up just like I would an ILS landing, even though we're not doing it. I'm going to plug in our course for our landing in both spots. Yeah, the altitude, yeah, it can control it, but with this plane, it's only going to go to the altitude that you have plugged in right here. So even though it like has these different altitudes here, the plane's not going to go to those altitudes. This plane's not going to do it unless you have it programmed here. So you have to program it here and then tell the plane you want it to go there. So like right now, I'm going to put this up to 36,000 feet. So that's our cruising altitude. And then I have to rearm VNav again. So I'm going to click it, and then click on it again. And now when we get past here, we'll begin our cruise, we'll begin our climb again. Well, for the heading, this LNAV mode, this lateral nav mode, whatever the flight plan is programmed to do, it'll do automatically. But with this plane, it doesn't do the altitudes that way. The plane I flew last night, that Cessna Longitude, that plane will do what you're saying right now, where it'll go up and it'll follow the altitudes in the flight plan automatically. You don't, like that Cessna that I flew last night, you don't have to plug in the actual altitude if you don't want to. It'll do it automatically for you. Yeah, that would be nice if autopilots in a lot of planes did that, where whatever you have here is what it will do automatically. But it's not how this Boeing plane works. Maybe I don't know. Maybe other Boeing planes work that way, but this particular one doesn't do that. So we should begin our climb again here in just a couple of miles. Let's see if it does it. It should do it because it says VNav path, which means it's going to follow the vertical navigation path that we have programmed. So it should be okay. Yep, there we go. So it's going to increase its speed, and then it's going to start climbing here momentarily. There we go. Actually, we might not have to really speed up the sim too much, because we're not going to be at 36,000 feet for a very long time. Maybe a couple hundred miles. This is very weird to me, though, that you have a speed of 248 at Party and at Verge A3. Let me look at the flight plan that we have from SimBrief and see what that says. That's very strange that you would have that low of a speed at that altitude. Yeah, I mean, they have Mach 0.78 and Mach 0.75. They have 0.77, that's correct. 0.78 and 0.75. Let me see if I can calculate what those are while we're just kind of looking out the window. Let me see if I can figure that out. I have a unit converter on my phone that I downloaded. So let me see if I can. Well, I know I can. Let me just do it. So go to speed, and we need to do Mach. From Mach to knots. Mach to knots. All right, and we have 0.75. That's saying 430 knots. So I don't believe that. But let's go ahead and change this to let's do 280. Let's see if it'll let us change it. 280 at 28.5. Do 280 at 24.1. All right, and then repov, it has us at Mach 0.61. I wish it would do what the knots are, not the Mach. It doesn't have a true airspeed. And let's see here. We have 250 there. 220. Oh, that's why it has the 250 there. Let's do 280 here also. I know why it has that now. Okay, let's change this first and then light level 210B. So it has that. It had that 250 there because that's the last. Hang on a second. All right, screw it. We'll just do a speed intervention on the way down. But I think it had 250 here before because this is the last waypoint before we get down below 10,000 feet. So I think that's why it had that 250 there before. And we're going to put legs here. And we're going to put progress here. Because when we get to the top of our climb, I'm going to speed up the simulator. All right, so back what I was saying about our landing. I'm going to plug in the course for our landing in both spots. We have a VOR we can line up with 2 tonight, so I'm going to plug in the VOR on nav 1 and nav 2. And then we need to adjust our heads-up display system down here. We need to change the mode for landing, and we need to enter the runway's length and the runway's height, and that will allow us to have the little reticle that shows up, this little... When I switch modes, what it'll do is it's going to get rid of like all this stuff on the side, and it's going to clean up everything a lot, so it makes it easier to kind of focus on the landing. When you input the runway length and the runway height, this reticle will now pretty much be dead set right in the middle of the touchdown zone. So we're gonna do that while we're descending. And let's change these to flight. There's some tall clouds over here today. Jeez. You don't usually see like clouds above us at 30-some thousand feet in the air. Below us, yes, but not so much above us. That's kind of weird. I love playing this simulator. I wish I could stream Aerofly, but there's no good way for me to do it. I tried mirroring so I usually play it on the iPad, and I tried mirroring the iPad and using OBS to capture it, and OBS is fine. That's not the issue, but the mirroring software, for some reason, it just does not work with the current Aerofly version. Maybe when Aerofly mobile, maybe for the new one, maybe it'll work better with the iPad. I never really use my Android tablets for Aerofly just because the frame rate is disgusting on it. I mean, the frame rate with the graphics turned all the way down, with the pixels turned all the way, like everything at its lowest setting, I was only getting like 25 to 30 FPS. But on my iPad, which is like, I guess 3 or 4 years old now, I was getting very close to 60 FPS like constantly. So that's why I was always playing it on my iPad. But we will see what happens when I download the new one. Maybe for Android now it'll be okay. I doubt it. Because Aerofly doesn't really ever seem to update a whole lot of stuff. I'm glad they finally have a new airplane though. That's nice. I'm looking forward to getting in that 737-900 they have and seeing exactly how many buttons I can push inside that airplane. Some of their airplanes you can operate almost everything. Some of their airplanes you can't do much. But for the most part, you can operate a lot. Not as much as this plane. This plane, you can, with everything you can operate, but Aerofly, you can still do a good amount of stuff in most of their planes. We are almost at our cruising altitude. We only got 162 miles to the top of our descent. That's not bad. We'll speed it up. We'll speed it up for a few minutes. Actually, we got a really big turn coming up. I guess we can speed it up for just a couple of minutes. That's tough. I'm really stuck between which one's better. They each have their own. They each have their own things that I really like, to be honest. Like, I love the fact that Microsoft, you can go anywhere in the world. That it has like what you see on the ground is pretty much what it is in real life. I think that's really cool. But I like the choice of airplanes better with Aerofly. I like the Learjet. I like the A380. I like the Boeing 777. I like the A320 better. I love the Dash 8Q400, that twin propeller plane that they have. There's both now. If Aerofly ever made a console version, I guess I could give it a more fair maybe judgment. But if I was to pick one over the other, if I could play Aerofly on the console, I would play Aerofly over this pretty much all the time. But they don't have a world. Now, this new one's supposed to be a world because it says Aerofly FS Global. So I'm thinking that it's going to be, all over the world, which would be nice finally. But yeah, they both, they're both pretty equivalent. The way I play them, at least. I mean, if I played them both on PC, maybe I'd have a stronger opinion on one over the other. But right now, to me, they're pretty equal. They each have their good things and their bad things. But now this Microsoft simulator, you have the ground and the live weather, and you have to do a lot more inside the airplane to get it set up. But I'm not a big fan of the choice of airplanes in this simulator. Like, there's a lot of planes that are there's a lot of propeller planes, and they're all pretty much the same on the inside and the outside. I do like the activities in this better. Like they have all the bush trips where it's like short little short flights you're doing across different countries, like sightseeing over different continents and different countries. I like that a lot. I like the landing challenges that are in here. Like the activities are more fun, but yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough choice. I say for the money, I like. I don't know. I think I'll just stick to what I said. I don't want to ramble on. They each have their good things and their bad things, and I enjoy them both equally. I mean, that's kind of the best way I could answer it. All right. Well, while we're just sitting here, let's set up our heads-up display for our landing. Let's come down here, and we're going to click on mode. Now, clicking on mode once. Now, I think IMC is for like ILS landings, and the V here is for more like a visual display. I'll show you what I mean in a minute, where it clears out a lot of the clutter on the heads-up display. So let's plug in our runway elevation. This is right off of SimBrief. I'm sorry, right off of Navigraph. So it's 16. So we have 16. And the length is 13,123. Very good. So now those are both set up. That's all you got to do now. If you look at the heads-up display, now it's much more clean for landing. It has our horizon, the reticle, and it'll give us the miles to our next waypoint or to the runway. It gives you the speed, tells you your ground speed. It'll tell you the angle of descent, how many feet per minute. So there we go. So that's all set up. And the course, we might as well just finish setting it up, I guess. So the course for our landing is 23. Let's plug that in here. And the VOR that's available for us is 116.5. So let's come down here. 1165. Switch that. And we'll do it over here as well. This plane, if you're going to do any kind of instrument landing, like an ILS landing or a VOR landing or anything like that, I believe you have to have both sides programmed exactly the same. At least for the ILS landing, you need to have them both programmed exactly the same. All right. So once we finish this turn, we're going to speed up the sim for a few minutes, just to get a little closer to the top of our descent. But we need to use the mouse for that, because we need to click this little button up here, and for some reason the controller won't do it. So here we are. Now that's in green. Now we're going to speed up 8 times the speed. So momentarily you should see that this number start clicking down quite a bit. we get to about 40 miles, I'll take it off of the sped up part, and we'll just stay in regular time the rest of the time. But PMDG, the company that made this plane, they spent a lot of time getting this to work really well. This the speed increase with this is so much better than the one that's standard with the simulator. I'd say that's one thing I don't like about the simulator a lot. Hang on, let me get out of this mode here. Okay. Now we're in regular speed again because the time is in white. That's one thing I don't like about this at all that I love about Aerofly. Aerofly, like, I'm not a big fan of sitting at a cruising altitude for hours. You know, that's why I like being able to speed this up. There's no effective way in this game to speed up your flight, like to get to the top of your climb, to the top of your descent. There's no quick way to do that, like the cruising part. Aerofly, you can just go back to the main menu and just drag the airplane where you want it on the map. And when you go back into the simulator, you're at that spot. So you could do a flight like from, you know, Singapore to London, right? And you can take off and get to your cruising altitude, and you can sit at that cruising altitude if you want to for the whatever 12 hours that it is. Or you can just go and drag the airplane on the map where you want it and start a lot closer to the top of your descent. In this simulator, they do have a fast forward feature, but I have never seen it work properly. The few times I've tried it, it has been a disaster. Not anything I've done wrong on my end. Like, it gives you options. You can choose cruise or descent or takeoff or climb. You know, you can choose these different. So I choose the one that I want, and then when I get there, like, give you an example, I chose cruise. Well, it put me at the cruising altitude, but it put me like 20 miles away from the airport I was flying to. So that was wrong. Then I tried it where I clicked on descent, and it put me at like 5,000 feet, you know, like altitude of 5,000 feet, but it put me like at the top of our descent. So it just maybe they fixed it with one of the updates, I don't know, but I've never seen it work properly. So all right, let's switch sides again now that we're not speeding up anything anymore. So let's go here, and we'll do progress. And they're saying we need to be at 28.5. Now, when I'm descending, whatever the altitude is that's in here, I will plug in up here. And the reason I do that is because when we start descending, it's going to put a green arc, like a green half a circle on this map. And that lets you know where the navigation system thinks you're going to be at that altitude. So it'll visually, it'll make more sense when we start descending. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Momentarily, we should see a vertical indicator here and here start to show up. That reminds me, let me set up this side for our descent as well. We can come here, put it on map mode, and we can click on this center button twice. And that's going to give us our like angle. It'll be angled. You'll see it'll be like our angle of attack. It'll show us the waypoints and like the angle of our airplane at those waypoints. All right, let's look at the landing map. I mean the landing. So our decision height is 350. So let's get our decision height set. That's the altitude where we either need to choose to land or choose to do a go around. Very good. And do we have an RNP number like 0.3 or 0.1? Let's see here. All right, there's our vertical indicators that just showed up. So that is good. Yeah, it doesn't say like our RNP needs to be at any kind of number. That's very strange. I'm guessing it needs to be like 0.3, but that's usually what they are. Very strange. All right, and we have a couple of rules we need to look at. So we need to be at 1,700 feet. Where did it say it at? Where the hell did I just read it? Something about being at 1,700 feet. Oh yeah, 1,700 feet within 11 nautical miles. So let's see here. 11 nautical miles is, okay, that's 3 miles, that's 5 miles. So by the time we hit Keimer, we need to be at 1,700 feet. So let's plug that in. Let's make our required navigation performance. Okay. We'll figure it out, buddy. Let's make our required navigation performance 0.3. So that's kind of like our rule. We need to be within 0.3 of an error margin for, too high or too low. So like if you look at this page here, our vertical deviation, there's no deviation right now because we're right on point. But if we start going too high or too low, it's going to show it here. And we need to be within 0.3 nautical miles of, see, now we're a little bit high. So, all right. It should be fine. It should work itself out. Let's delete this here and see what it comes up with. All right, let's go to 23.7. You can see the arc is going to move. All right, let's fix this then. All right, let's set up a fix. Yeah, Infinite Flight is pretty fun. I've played it a few times. It's like I guess my least favorite of the Sims, but that's a good one to play like on a phone, I think. The graphics are really good. The interaction with like controlling the airplane is pretty good. Like I like Infinite Flight quite a bit. X-Plane used to be my favorite, but they haven't done anything to update that in many, many years. It's still the same 737, and the same planes, and like there's only like 2 planes that you can really control like a lot of. But yeah, I would say X-Plane's my least favorite at this point. Infinite Flight is above. So it would be like X-Plane, least favorite, then Infinite Flight, and then RFS, and then like these Aerofly and this one are like tied for first and second. Third would be RFS. Fourth would be Infinite Flight, and then fifth would be X-Plane. If I was to put a number on all of them, that's kind of what it would be. All right, we are landing at runway 02 center. So there's a couple of rules that are on this landing chart. So let's set up those rules so we can see them on the screen. So we need to be at 180 knots by 8 nautical miles. So we're going to set up a ring for 8 nautical miles. There'll be a big green ring around this runway. And we need to be no more than 150 knots by 4 nautical miles. So let's set up another ring for 4 nautical miles. Now when we get close to the airport, we'll see those rings, and that'll help remind us. Yeah, Infinite Flight's not bad. I like that one quite a bit. Like I said, on my phone or on a tablet, that one's good in a pinch. If you just want to get in an airplane and hear the sounds of the airplane and like look at the outside of it flying, like the graphics for a mobile game are really good for Infinite Flight. X-Plane I loved for many years, but they just had not done really anything to update anything. It was the same basic Cessna. They have the same Cirrus SR-22. They have the Division jet. They have a 747 and a 737. Other than that, the other airplanes you really can't control them. You can fly them and put on the autopilot and stuff like that, but like they're not really modeled well. Like the interior is really crappy. The way that the interiors look are really shitty, and yeah, just disappointing because X-Plane was like really cool for a long time. They were like the first on like the mobile games to really be able to make it feel somewhat like a real airplane, like with controlling it. why are we not the... Can we increase our speed a little bit? I don't know what happened. We were doing so good. Oh, well, maybe this is why. I didn't adjust the... All right, let's go back down. Let's I'm gonna do something a little unconventional because I was reading the chat and I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. So, all right, at Remus we need to be at, let's see here, what it says on our arrival chart. 250 and above 6,000 feet. And then we need to be at 4,000 feet by Samco. All right, we might be okay. I was going to do a big circle in the air real quick, but I think we might be okay. All right, let's plug in 6,000 feet. Yeah, I was reading the chat, wasn't really paying attention. My bad. Yeah, we need to make a circle. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put ourselves, we got what, 349 here? We'll do like a holding pattern type circle. So let's put ourselves in heading mode. And let's make a big circle. Yeah, well, no, I used to play RFS. I haven't played it in a long time. So I don't like pay for it anymore. It's tough to make time to play a lot of stuff because of my work schedule. Like during the day I can't really play a decent amount of games because I'm very busy at work, and then in the evening, you know, I got kids and shit to take care of, so it's... But if I ever jump back on RFS, I'll message you and let you know. There might be a time where I'll start paying for it again. But right now it's not that time. All right, so... sit for about a minute. Stay at this for about a minute. I don't think I ever set up a name on RFS. I never really played the like the online component of it. All right, let's just a bit. We're almost at a minute, so we can swing back around again. All right, we just hit a minute, so let's swing back around again, and then we'll re-engage the LNAV mode. And that should have given us enough of a chance to kind of descend a little bit. Descend from what I missed when I was reading the chat and wasn't paying attention to what the plane was doing. So I missed the part where I was supposed to, turn the altitude down more so we could continue our descent. But we should be okay now. Once we get lined up again, we'll re-engage LNAV. Yeah, we should be okay now. Need to get us back into VNAV mode though. We need that for the landing. It's supposed to be LNAV and VNAV for this particular landing. All right, let's click LNAV. Let's arm that again. Click VNAV. Oh yeah, we got to put our barometric pressure in. What is our pressure now? It is 2985. So let's get our mouse out. And let's click on that. There we go. And let's plug in 2985. And let's click approach on here, because the vertical deviation diamond and the horizontal one here will show up way earlier on this display than they will on our display here. All right, and that circle did pretty good for us, because now we're actually kind of a bit lower than we really need to be, but it's okay. Let's arm our landing brakes. Let's tell the people to sit back down. We're about 500 feet low from where we should be, but we'll be okay. It's like storm clouds over there. I haven't done an RNAV landing in a while, so we'll see what happens. We should be okay. It's not much different than an ILS landing, but I mean, it is different in some ways. I mean, the plane's more than likely not gonna land itself, but we'll be okay. plane's gonna start decelerating here pretty soon. Oh, you know what? I'm reading the weather report right now. It looks like it's instrument flight rules only, so we need to switch this to an ILS landing. I'm looking right at it. So let's switch this over. So our 23 is okay for our course. We need to input 108.3. I'm looking on Navigraph, and it's got a big red dot that says IFR, which means that visually we don't have the clearance, we don't have the length needed, supposedly. So let's plug in our ILS information. 108.3. And we need Leon. So we have 10, so around 15 miles away from the airport, we're gonna switch over. How far away are we right now? All right, drag. Let's put some speed flaps up. We're about 35 miles away still. We are going to do an ILS landing today, after all. That's what it says here on Navigraph, so we'll just stick with that. All right, we can put our speed brakes down now. And let's put some flaps into play, since we need to be below a certain speed for the remainder of our trip. And let's go ahead and put ourselves in heading mode. Oh, you know, we don't need to do that just yet. When we get to Samco, we'll put ourselves in heading mode. Let's put on some landing lights. Yeah, I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. I just know that so in Navigraph, what I'm looking at, like if we were landing in Jakarta where we left from, it's got a green circle and it says VFR, which means visual flight rules are in play, which means you can do visual landings and RNAV landings where you need to see the runway from a certain amount of meters before like the landing here. We need to see the runway like 900 meters before we land in order to do that one particular landing. But in Singapore right now, it's saying that it's got a big red circle. It's IFR for instrument flight rules. So yeah, we'll see. Still too far away to pick up the localizer. Oh, it just popped up. All right, so let's click that. Let's go ahead and change this to that mode there. And let's go ahead and switch the heading select and go over this way and grab the localizer. Speed intervention, put this down to 190. And put some flaps down. Once we see this magenta line start coming closer, then we can go ahead and make that turn towards the airport, and our localizer should capture at that point. Localizer captured automatically. So now what we can do is let's click approach. That's going to arm our glide scope as well. And we can actually click autopilot B as well. And that'll give us, oh, I guess we can't click that yet. All right. Oh yeah, we have to wait for the glide scope to show up first. Never mind. Once the glide scope indicator, well, it's actually right here. So let's click altitude hold. All right, now let's click. Why it's supposed to let us do 1 and 2. We can do a category 3 landing. All right, or whatever. Maybe we need to wait for the glide scope to capture. All right, we are 17 miles out still. Oh yeah, we never set up our approach. Shit. Forgot about that. There we go. All right, now can we do both? It's very strange that it won't allow us to do both. Very strange. I hope nothing got changed with the updates, because it should allow us to do it. Oh, it says glide path. Oh, this doesn't do oh, this particular doesn't. Okay, that makes sense then. This particular airport doesn't do category 2 or 3 landings. Okay, well that makes sense why we can't do that. So what I was trying to do is so normally when you do an ILS landing, this is GS for glide scope. And when you have that captured in this airplane, if you click the second autopilot button as well, it engages the category 3 landing. And what that does is that allows it'll let the plane roll out and flare all on its own. So okay, no big deal. All right, let's go ahead and put our gear down. Put this down to, what is it, 140?
500.
Oh yeah, it's a little tough to do a landing by visual, by sight today. Yeah, that would make it a little tough to land by sight when you can't see the runway. When we get on the ground, we'll contact ground services and get taxied to the gate. And we'll see if the air marshal is there with his little glow sticks waving us in. I can sign off and go to bed and contemplate working tomorrow. I'm not convinced that I'm working yet. We'll see. Wow, it is really like, that is crazy, man. I wish we had like active weather radar in this plane so we could actually see what the hell's going on.
1,000.
Wow. 500 feet over the ground and we still can't see the anything. Oh, there we go. Stuff's starting to come in line now. Wow, that's crazy.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. $100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
That was actually a pretty good landing. I wasn't trying to disconnect the autopilot, but it just happened to happen. I guess we could have flown Singapore Airlines as well, I guess, today. I didn't think about that until just now, but oh well. I don't know if I have a Singapore livery actually with this plane. I think I do. There's like 5 livery packs you can buy. I have 4 of the 5. I think Singapore is with one of the ones that I bought. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Hopefully, I can probably do that in the next couple of days. I just need to plan out the flight and, make the time to do it. But yeah, I can do that. Just keep an eye out. I'll post it. I'll post it on my channel before I do the video. That way you can get a heads up on it. So just keep an eye out. Pop in on my channel periodically, like a couple times a day, and just check on it, and I'll do it. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You're welcome. It was a good idea. I mean, I've always wanted to leave from that. I've always wanted to do that flight. I just never. I don't know. There's so many flights that I look at that I just kind of get like overwhelmed with like what to choose. But no, that was a good choice, man. That was a fun flight. Absolutely. Let's see if my man with the glow sticks is here. I'll tell you, that's one thing with Aerofly that I do like better as well, actually, is that planes at the gate in Aerofly have real liveries. Granted, most of the time those liveries are not available in the game. They do that. Aerofly is famous for that shit. They'll put all kinds of planes on the ground in liveries that are not available to use. But it's real instead of like looking at this shit. And a lot of times they have liveries on planes that would never be where they're at. To give you an example, like I was over in Austria, and they had an Alaska Air -8 Q400, which is a twin prop plane that's very short range. It only goes to like 25,000 feet, and they had that plane sitting in Austria. So I don't think that would happen. Oh, I think I see my. Do I see my guy? I think. Oh, is he there? I think I see him. I think I see the raver. Go right from a rave, right to work with them glow sticks. Yeah, he's there. Yeah. Sometimes they don't tell us when to stop, though. Looks like he is, though. Parking brake set. Oh, it's so awesome, man. Yeah. That is banging. Yes. That makes me so happy that that works. I just found that trick out, that in order to really get those guys to show up, unless you go to Innsbruck, if you fly to Innsbruck, they're always there. LOWI. Lowy Airport in Austria. They're always there, regardless of if you trigger it or not. But pretty much every other airport that exists, you need to contact the ATC, you need to contact the ground and have them direct you to a gate. And when you do that, you get Mr. Raver. Yeah. I've only seen it once so far. In the dozen airports, I've tried it at about a dozen airports. I've only seen one airport so far that it did not happen. I forget what airport it is. It's not. I guess it's not that important which airport. But anyways, that was before this last update. But this last update, maybe they fixed it. So that's about it, man. It is late o'clock here on the East Coast of America, and I need to get to sleep because I need to probably work tomorrow. I probably will wind up working, but we'll see. I don't know. I really hate calling out of work. I'd rather save those kind of things for when I really need to call out of work. But yeah, we will have to do this again soon. I'm gonna download. Hopefully, I'll download Aerofly tomorrow. If not, I may have to wait until I get paid again. Because I mean, I know it's only $3, but you know, I'm on a very tight income, and I got 2 teenagers to feed, and it's only my income. Single parent, full custody, 2 kids. It's you know, it's a struggle sometimes. I will say that, but that's about it. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Certainly be good to me. Click that subscribe button. Click that like button. It doesn't cost you a damn thing to do, other than about half a second of your time. And that's all I ask. Just a half a second. So we will see each other again, my friends, over the beautiful skies of Mother Earth. In some simulator, in some aeroplane, we will do it together. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of the Airplane Show. Peace.